pictures or sites.google.com/site, Javens Physics, any of those things, somehow get to my class site or search for me on Prairie Pride, it's linked there. But click on Daily Plans, the first link over here, and that's going to bring up our 2 links that we need. Let me know if you have trouble getting there. Javens Physics, site.google.com/site, Javens Physics. When you get there, you're going to hit the first link. Please take the following quiz over for Flubaroo. I'm going to show you Flubaroo from the student side first. So if you would click that link, and it will bring up a Google form like this. Answer all the questions and hit submit. First link on daily plans. Daily plans. You're going to get your answers as an email, so wherever you want those to go. Probably your Prairie Pride account.
We're taking the quiz.
Yep, you're taking the
Please
quiz.
take the following quiz over Flubaroo.
Yep.
You're good.
Okay, it looks about like everybody's in there, so. Shoot this out quick, and if your email is not open, the email address that you just put in, you want to open that. Okay, and it said 15 went out, so I'm not sure.
That's because I'm dumb and I didn't follow the directions.
Okay.
So I put my last name, I was supposed to put my email address, then I redid it, so now it's right. Sorry,
And,
I'm gonna be done kidding.
We do this with students all the time, and the #1 mistake is they spell their name wrong in their email address. Not kidding. I will get 7 undeliverable emails, all with their name spelled wrong in their own email, so, yeah.
How about
It
mine?
happens. only one that didn't come out above proficiency or whatever, they highlight those in orange. So Flubaroo can quickly grade short answers. So, yes, Flubaroo can quickly grade your multiple choice. Sometimes it's a maybe on short answer, and I'll show you an example of when it works and when it doesn't. Flubaroo cannot grade essays. Does not work for essays at all. It can email students a copy of their answers. It will email them a copy of the key, and it will analyze your test results for you. And that's what I'm showing you here is the analysis. It'll tell you every kid's score, and it will give you the percent of how many people got that right. So we can see how we did and what kind of percentages we have in each of those. All right? So basically what this is it's called a script that you run on a spreadsheet, on a form. So once you build the Google form, like I did here, and I think most people have built a Google form at some point. If not, I can help you go back and do that. But once you have the Google form and you click on your spreadsheet, that's where you can run the script. All right? So on the daily plans, later on, the link down here visits the website. So maybe send that to yourself or know where that is. It's a great tutorial. It gives you a 3-minute demo. It lets you try it now, and then it does great graphics of how to exactly do it. So after you've built your answer, your Google form, shows you how to create a key, shows you how to assign it, shows you how to grade it, and these are all the steps we're going to walk through here right now. Okay? So let me show you the back end then, since you've seen the front side. Any questions so far? Okay. So, the other day, while I had a sub, I had my kids do a quick self-quiz. Okay? First thing that I always do, so I have my little quiz that I built with my form, and the first thing that I always do is I take the form myself and I name it key. Okay? So I'm going to call it key and name it myself. And then what you want to do is an insert script. So once you have it filled in, and you can do this before the kids take it, or you can do it after the kids take it, but that fourth link over, insert script, you click on that, and you do a quick search for Flubaroo. And there it comes up, and all you have to do is click install. So once you have your spreadsheet, yeah.
Do you have to do that every time you make a form?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want Flubaroo to run on that form, you have to install it.
Okay.
Yep, individually. But once it's installed, it's there forever. I have ones that I installed it on last year. When I pull them up this year, it's still there.
Okay.
So, which is nice. You don't have to reinstall it. Okay? So once you've got it installed, you know that you did it right because you have this little Flubaroo tag up here. And Flubaroo gives you 2 options. I've already graded this assignment, so this would say grade. I can email grades, or I can view the report. Okay? So grading the assignment, you just click on that, and you follow the directions. Okay. It'll tell you it's now going to run it. And down here at the bottom, there's the grades. So there's student submissions, which is what you normally see, looks like a normal spreadsheet, but there's also the grade them to have the list of questions and score. I usually include the answer key. And then I may type on the message like, this was your self-quiz from Friday or something like that. And I hit continue. And then the other thing it asks me is, what do I want to use for the key? If for some reason I forget to take it myself, if you have a pretty reliable kid that you know scored 100, you can always set them as the key too. But usually I just take it myself and call myself key, and that works easy. It takes a couple minutes depending on how many kids. We've done this with up to 300 chem kids, and it works really well. It takes longer to think when it's doing that.
So do you have to enter all those email addresses in there at some point?
The kids do it as they fill the form out.
Just like we did.
Remember how you did they put in their own email address.
Okay, so, I have attempted to do forms and I have messed it up every single time.
Okay.
So if they do it, if you do this through Flubaroo, then do you, I seriously do not understand how to make the form accessible to kids so that they can
Right.
fill out the form.
Yep. Couple of different options with that when you go to create the form. So that's how you start. And then you can, if you know all the kids' emails, you can email the form. You also have the link up here that you can copy and paste somewhere like in a blog. You can just copy and paste that right there. Or I just post it on my website.
Okay, so I tried posting it on my website and then they were not able to actually, write it.
Beth, what I found is that, once I already have the form made, when I go to the part that's just like the blank spreadsheet with all the headers, there's a button over the top right that says share, and it's probably private. And so even if you give them the link, I mean, I don't know if you do that, Amy, every time.
And actually forms, it doesn't matter. Forms
It
are always
doesn't?
public. The spreadsheet, it matters. But the form, it
The
doesn't.
form is always public.
The form is always public. For example, okay, so these are forms that I'm giving for this unit. Okay, all I have to do, if I want that on a page, I hit edit page, insert, and over here is spreadsheet form. And then it will literally,
Just fill it in.
yeah, let me take that out for a moment, okay? So I just hit the edit button, insert spreadsheet form, and I want that one to be, that's my Apple on the desk form. I search for it and click on it. I usually take out the width because then it says that'll make it 100%. And I click save, and I click save again, and there's my form. So, like I said, you can share the link, you can paste it on a blog, which you all have a blog on Prairie Pride, if you didn't know, or you can insert it in your website. Go ahead.
With the form, does it matter where you have an insert email, like Flubaroo automatically read
Yep.
the email is entered, and you just have to
Yep.
be the first or second?
When so I haven't installed Flubaroo yet at all here, so if I do an insert script, okay, and I search for Flubaroo, which is the stuff I showed you a moment ago, one of the things Flubaroo asks me is, it'll give you questions and it'll say worth a point or identify student. And you just make sure email is marked identify student. So and that'll pop up here in a moment after it installs. So I'm installed, I authorize it, I close it, I click on Flubaroo. And yeah, there has to be at least 2 submissions. But one of the things that it will ask me is identifying students. Flubaroo doesn't pop up right away, so just wait a second. and it will.
Amy, have you used it for, like a checking for understanding?
Yep.
And then, so you wouldn't really send the kids, how do you, what I'm interested in is results at the end.
Right. And you don't have to email it to students, that's a totally different step. You can just keep it for yourself. We're using it for checking for understanding. Basically, when kids took Google Forms, it doesn't ever send them the results. And that frustrated us because they could never see, only we had that knowledge. And so this was a way for them to see, what did I answer? Was it right? What was the right answer? Okay. So, yeah. But when you install Flubaroo, it'll give you little pull-down menus of identify students, and you just want to make sure that you choose identify students. So you, yeah,
No, it's just, keep asking questions.
okay. One thing people asked is, always ask is about short answers, and I know especially with foreign language people, you want to use it, you want to have them type words. This is an example of one that we gave, and it was actually half and half. So you have them put in their name, you have them put in their email. If you forget the email, there's no way to send it to them, and we've learned that the hard way several times. So we did some multiple choice questions, but then we did some short answer questions, and you can see that when we graded it down here, the multiple choice answers, none of them are marked orange, pretty much here, because it's really clear cut, and most of them got those right when it's a clear cut answer. When we start doing the short answer, see how every single short answer was below standard? It's not because the kids didn't answer it right, it's because if they type it at all different than the answer key, it counts it wrong automatically. And that was one thing we had to train the kids, that just because you got 3 out of 10 doesn't mean I put a 3 out of 10 in the grade book. We put, completion points in the grade book. We just want you to look at the answers and decide, did I have the right answer? I just typed it differently. With us, maybe they didn't put a unit, maybe they did a caret with an exponent, maybe they typed it as a long number, and you can see on the student submissions all of the different things. 3.156 and 3.16 meters, one of those is going to get counted wrong, but technically they're both right answers. So if you're going to do it for spelling or vocab or anything like that, just know that there is some limitations. They have to type it exactly as you did. And again, this is one where we did put the email in later. It doesn't matter where you put the email as long as it's somewhere. So it emails them out to kids. But I would, if you're going to use it for short answer stuff, I would tell the kids. But if you're grading it for being typed exactly as you type, then that's a good thing. If you're not.
One thing we did, or I did, was just put it in there, and then I had like 2 short answers. So then what I can do is I can hide all the multiple choice, and hide those columns, and then all I have is a short answer right next to their name. And then all you can do is just go straight down and just look at them, grade them, go to their name, and you can select in there, identify student, you don't have, or skip grading. You can choose skip grading on that one, and it won't grade that one. You can do that one yourself too. So.
Absolutely.
I was going to say too, on the end of the assessment, one of the things that I was concerned about with this was that students would have got a hold of it and the test and then forwarded it on to their, the link on to somebody. So I kind of did was, I know it's kind of old-fashioned Scantron, but I just made a form that had A, B, C, D, every question was that, so then they could put the real test in front of them, so they had to get the real test in class. Then all they did is when a computer hit A, B, C, D, there's a couple short answers we had them do, and made it. So if you are doing some multiple choice, you could use it as that. So your form doesn't have to type any questions. All you do is put A, B, C, D, and hit copy, and then just copy question on down. You go through and have Form A and Form B, and you can have the kids choose too which test are you taking, the pink form or the green form, or Form A, Form B, and they can mark that on their test. They know which one, and you can separate them out into the spreadsheet and grade them separately too.
So if you have 2 forms, do you make 2 Google forms too?
No, just one Google form, but they choose Form A or Form B, and then you can separate them on the spreadsheet.
Okay,
Sort
so you
it.
actually
You can
cut it.
data sort it. And then what I do is I just copy that and paste them into a new one and choose Flubaroo and everybody knows it.
Grade 1 and grade 2. And
Yeah.
it will, you know, the spreadsheets, if you're really smart about how you set it up, if you set it up like last name, first name, and period number, it will sort it all alphabetically, just like campus and by period, and then you'll just be able to type right in your grades. We're not always that smart. That's one thing we're learning as we go, but it will only do what you tell it to, which sometimes we forget, oh yeah, we should have done that. But yeah, absolutely, you can use it as just a blank Scantron and then reuse that same form over and over. And just always go back to that spreadsheet and make it happen. Other questions?
I see that you had it, you had a little drop down to, tell what period it was. Will it organize that by period?
You have to sort the spreadsheet, but it automatically timestamps everything, so it should be first hour, second hour, you know, because the kids are taking it in that order. The only thing you have to worry about is those makeups at the end. So, but yeah, generally, because it goes chronologically. But then you can sort by last name, and they'll be alphabetized. You know, we found a lot of good uses for it. It is really powerful. It saves us tons of time. I can do formative assessments, you know, all I want, and I never really have to grade anything. I just have to look at the final. I have to do 2 clicks to send them out. I just have to look at the final stats to see if they're getting it or not. We don't use it for testing, because we have something else we use, but it would totally work for that.
I have heard a few kids talking about this, and they really like to go see, like, if they miss something, they always want to go read to make sure that they, you know, it wasn't just typing. So I think the kids are really using it as a formative assessment piece too, to see where they're at. So it's just kind of interesting. It's really hard to get them.
And the nice thing, I've got a couple really sharp kids where they took it later, and we sent them their grade, but we never put it in the grade book. They will screenshot the email that shows their grade so that they can prove they took it. They'll email me the screenshot and say, see, Flubaroo says I took it, why don't you? So it's that extra stuff that the kids appreciate. So that was our hurdle, was how do we get them to see their answers and know if they were right, you know, make judgments based on that of how well they know the material. Okay, I think we have 3 or 4 minutes here, so we don't really have time to start one, but if you're gonna do this during the work time, I will totally be available to help. Maybe jot down an idea of a quiz you wanna do, or a concept you wanna test, and, you know, maybe even open a Google form.
Just start the Google form.
You could get the Google form started, and literally once you've got the Google form started, you're just gonna do an insert script and then follow the directions. And again, on my website, I would really maybe bookmark or have that. I'll have to take this down because my kids will be like, what the heck is that on our daily plans? Because they're like addicted to daily plans, which is good, but they will wonder. And they're probably wondering right now why they got 3 emails of the same assignment, but that's okay. But there's all the steps: create the assignment, create the answer key, assign it, grade it, review the grades, tips, everything you need, very well laid out. I was going to do a tutorial, and I thought, why would I do this? They've done it so well. So just follow their exact steps on that Flubaroo user side.
Nothing to do with Flubaroo, but did you just put a blog into your website, and then when they subscribe to that, does that mean they get, whenever you update a post, it sends them an email that you've updated a post?
Yep. The thing we struggled with was makeup work, and so we've gone to, in chemistry and physics, this daily plan, and every day I just post exactly what we did, the links to all of it, any attachments that we did, and that way kids that, you know, I don't see for 2 or 3 days, they just get it sent either right to their email or they go to the daily plans. It's called an announcements page. I have had several kids that I haven't seen for a week that are totally caught up. They have everything done.
Right here.
Yeah, I can teach from home, literally. Yep. So, no, the announcements page works really well for